Our next live English mindfulness session will be on January 13th. And our Wellness Wednesday program this week is on using our voices, whether it's improving communication, fostering creativity, or simply having fun. This Wednesday's program will focus on embracing the unique experiences of using your voice. Together, we'll engage in activities that could build confidence, certainly instill connection and joy while supporting vocal health and self-expression. So join us to celebrate the many ways our voices can inspire, connect, and empower us. You can learn more about that program and register at parkinson.org/pdhealth. And kicking off this New Year's Mindfulness Monday session, we welcome back Nico Hase. Nico is an author and a meditation teacher who's been hanging out with us for a couple of years now, and we're really grateful to be welcoming him and his partner back to join us throughout the year on our mindfulness sessions. Nico, thanks for being here.
It is a delight to be here with all of you. It's always a delight to join you here at Parkinson's Foundation for Mindfulness Monday. I wanted to start with a brief reflection, and you don't have to have some special meditation posture. You don't even have to close your eyes. But maybe you could just think of the last time you were around some kids who experienced something new. So for me, I think of just being at the aquarium. I went to the aquarium with my mother a few months ago, just the two of us, no kids around that we were traveling with, but there are all these children. And just watching them experience a jellyfish, like a really big, and it was sort of it was illuminated in the aquarium. And these kids were just kind of like, whoa, right? So maybe thinking of a recent time, maybe it's grandkids or the children of friends, thinking of a recent time when you were with a child that really saw something fresh. Got it? And then think about the contrast between that and a kind of typical adult response to the same event. And that kid experience, that kind of unvarnished, delighted, fresh experience is what we call in meditation beginner's mind. And so beginner's mind is a concept that comes to us from the Zen tradition. There's a Japanese word, shoshin, which means beginner mind, or beginner heart is another translation, shoshin. And it's this kind of freshness, curiosity, openness to experience. It doesn't mean denying experience. It certainly doesn't mean ignorance of experience. You don't have to let go of everything that you know about the world. You still you still know how to drive a car. You still know how to pay your taxes. All those things stay with you. But this kind of opening to the sensory world that we call beginner's mind. And as I was preparing for this, I was thinking a little bit of why do we lose that? A lot of us, maybe you don't, but a lot of us lose that as we get older. And you can think about why maybe we lose that. I came up with a few possibilities. You can check it out for yourself. One, there's a kind of efficiency consciousness that takes over as we get older. We're getting this done. We're getting that done. There's a kind of expert mind, right? As opposed to a beginner's mind, an expert mind. The mind that kind of says, well, I know this. I know what this is. You're in your garden and you're weeding, and okay, that's a tomato plant, and that's a rose bush. And the knowing of it, the naming of it, the familiarity, the assumed familiarity, it's almost like a film that gets placed over our experience. Because if we were really seeing the rose bush, that's a beautiful experience. So there's a kind of expert mind. I know that. There's a kind of rut that we get into, a comfortable, a familiar, an over familiarity almost with the sensory experience that we're always touching. I think also there's a social pressure as we get older that we know stuff. I know what that is. I know what that is. I can navigate the world. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to know stuff, right? But it's a kind of top down. It's like organizing experience in such a way that we don't feel the freshness. And maybe also a social pressure to not appear foolish. Like if you're at the aquarium and you're 70 years old and a jellyfish, an illuminated jellyfish comes up and you go, whoa, maybe the environment is not going to be as supportive of you as the 6-year-old that is yelling, whoa, right? So there's this pressure to act a certain adult kind of way. And yet, maybe we're a little quieter about it than a 5-year-old. Maybe we still abide by social convention, but there is this way to cultivate a beginner's mind. And I think that there are some benefits in my own experience, like more creativity. When we're not just in the rut of I know, I know, I know, there can be this enhanced sense of participation, of creativity, a deeper learning. Depth learning requires seeing things as if for the first time. Also, our relationships with spouses, partners, our children, our adult children, our helpers, our caretakers. What if we could meet them in some sense as if for the first time? Like, who is this mysterious human? Maybe more joy, maybe more delight in just our everyday experiences, not needing to have some amazing special experience, but just walking outside and seeing a daffodil. And so, how do we cultivate this? How do we practice this? Maybe we should do a little meditation. I think that's what we're here for. Let's do a little meditation, see if we can touch into this feeling of beginner's mind. And so now, if you want, you could find a nice, comfortable meditation posture. Make sure you're comfortable. It's nice to have a feeling of a little bit of upright just so you feel alert, awake. And if you'd like, you could close your eyes, take a couple of deeper breaths, and then just allow your breath to find a natural rhythm. And take a moment to really feel your breath. Your body is breathing all day long, all night long. How often do you pause and really notice the sensations of your breath? And what would it be like to sense your breath as if you have never felt it before? Maybe it's pleasant, maybe it's not so pleasant, but just see if you can sense your breath as if you have never felt your breath before. And we'll be in silence for about a minute. Just see if you could check this out. Very nice. And now maybe turn your warm awareness, your kind attention to sound. Perhaps there's a great deal of sound. Maybe you're hearing traffic or television on in the background. Or maybe it's very subtle sound. I can just hear the buzz of the refrigerator. And hearing your sounds of your environment, fresh, as if you have never heard these sounds before. And again, we'll spend about a minute in silence, just receiving the newness of these sounds. And of course, you might notice that the mind gets caught up in thinking, remembering, planning, these kind of dream-like states. And that's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. It's simply what the mind does. Each time that you notice that you've been lost, that is a moment to celebrate. Because if you notice that you have been lost, it means that you are found. Here you are, present, awake, alive. And can you touch back into the freshness of the breath, of the freshness of sound? And we'll bring that warm awareness, that kind attention to your thoughts. And you might even wonder, what are thoughts? It's such a strange experience when you know thinking from the perspective of beginner's mind. What are thoughts? They're little more than nothing. They're like wisps of cloud, and yet so powerful. Let's just take a minute and notice thoughts as if you have never seen a thought before. You might gently ask yourself a question. What am I assuming I know right now? What do I think I know? Can I relax that just a little bit? And let's take a couple of deeper breaths if that's comfortable for you. And you can let your body move, stretch in any way that feels good for your particular body in this particular moment. Open your eyes, maybe look around. And as you're opening your eyes, as you're looking around, as you're coming back to our Zoom community, seeing if you can maintain just a hint of this freshness, just a hint of this beginner's mind. Nicely done. Mm. So we have time for some chat conversation. How did that go? Yeah, anybody who wants to just chat in, how was that for you? We've got one vote for loved it. By the way, no need to only say positive. You can just be completely honest, however it was. One vote for loved it, another vote for wow. Very cool. Sound had color and texture, and thought had color, texture, movement in all capital letters. Beautiful. Calming, revealing. Thank you. I like your eyebrows. Wow. I'm very touched. Thank you. Thank you. That was excellent. I liked that. I was listening to the bubbles pop in my glass of sparkling water. That's very cool. Made me smile. Yeah, no thoughts, just hearing. Very nice. I got so relaxed, I nearly fell asleep. That can happen. Very calming. Very well. My husband went to sleep. Please sleep well, dear husband. I can't see a thought. It has no substance. Oh my goodness. Now, if a thought has no substance, that's quite an insight, isn't it? A thought has no substance. And yet somehow, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get very run around by my thoughts. How is it that something that's not a thing is yet so convincing? It's a very strange experience to be so utterly caught up in something that's has no substance. Yeah, a song came to mind. You make me feel brand new. I love it. I was in the clouds dancing. This is great. Interesting. I never noticed how loud my work environment was. Very relaxing. Great. Big internal smile, picturing myself saying, whoa, out loud. I got lost on the listening part. It's very quiet and mostly heard tinnitus, which is totally fun. You can also pay attention just to tinnitus. Relaxing, had some trouble staying focused. Good, relaxing. I went back in time. I thought of sunflowers. When I woke up, I felt lost in my room. That's a kind of fresh experience. I found it very relaxing. Need to leave the Zoom shortly and hope I can replay. I think it is recorded and it should be up. The breath is in cool when it's coming in and going out, it's warm. It's very relaxing. Noticing the temperature, very relaxing. Any questions that came up during that exercise, that meditation? I'm not sure how to react to thoughts as new. It seems as though my thoughts were gaslighting me. Well, that's interesting, right? Anybody else feel like your thoughts sometimes are gaslighting you? In other words, they're sort of selling you a reality that's not quite true, right? My thoughts are gaslighting me. So, one way to react to thoughts as new is simply to notice that every thought, and you can check this out for yourself, see if this is true for you. My experience is every thought, no matter what it is, arises, sticks around for a while, and then passes away. And then another thought arises, sticks around, and passes away. Now, I don't know why this is so mind-blowing, but for me, this is an extremely mind-blowing contemplation to realize that every thought arises, sticks around for a while, and then passes away. And I'll tell you what happens for me when I do this. I get less sticky, right? So I might have a wanting thought. Well, might want something that I can't have right now, and it's very sticky. But if I notice that actually that thought of wanting arises, it only sticks around for a few minutes, maybe at the most, and then it passes away. It's less sticky. It's less pain about not having that thing that I want. It may come, that same thought may be repetitive. It may come again a few minutes later. I want that. But it only sticks around for a little while and then it passes away. And then there's another one and there's another one. So there's something about noticing that you don't get gas lit quite as much. It gives you a little bit of perspective. Ah, here's another thought. There's another. I'm not wanting this other thing. Welcome to the human experience. I want that. I don't want that. Right? I'm not. And then there's the thought, but it's just a thought. It's coming, sticking around. passing away. It's like somebody just said, it doesn't have any real substance. Yeah. Hmm. Drew me closer to my grandson. Beautiful. I avoid thinking as much as possible. Yes. Everything came back brighter. Okay, that brighter, that is what we mean by beginner's mind. That just sense of brighter. I used to ride my shopping cart across the parking lot. Need to resume that. I found that my thoughts had a strong visual component. Very interesting. Mine have a lot of negative judginess sometimes. Welcome to the club. You're part of a very large club if you have judgy thoughts, right? Judging that person, now judging me, now judging that political thing happening, blah, Not that we don't need discernment about who to hang out with and who not to hang out with and all these other things, but judgy. That seems to be the nature of human experience to have judgy thoughts. Surfing the urge, right? Yeah, very good. Yeah. Every time you look at my face, it makes you calm. Well, I don't know why that is, but I think that's very wonderful. I'm so glad. Maybe it's because I have no hair. Not what I expected. We'll try it again on a replay. Wonderful. Well, it is always so much fun to be here with you. I experience a kind of beginner's mind every time I come into this room and I see your faces and we get to spend time together. And I look forward to seeing, it might be a couple of months, I think, before I'm with you again, because I think this is January. Then my partner and I both won't be available in February. I think then my partner Devon will be with you in March. And then I think I don't see you again until April. But I will be thinking of all of you. And I will be thinking of Mindfulness Mondays and all the wonderful teachers that you have coming in. And I'll hand it back over to Krista now to close us out.
Thank you, Nico. Really appreciate the way that you guide us into a brighter state of mind and recognizing the newness that can be born every day. Appreciate you all for joining us in this mindful community. And of course, if you have any questions between our sessions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the foundation as things change and shift as often as our thoughts do in our lives here. In the conscious world. So until then, my friends, I'll see you soon. January 13th is our next live session. We'll be joined with Dr. Taylor Rush from the Cleveland Clinic. If I don't see you on Wednesday, I'll see you Monday. Be well.